This might be the easiest recipe you're ever gonna see on the Silly Kitchen. Today I am working with a beautiful piece of meat from my friends at 5 Chicks and a Farmer. If you have not checked it out yet, there's a series that I'm doing with 5 Chicks and a Farmer where I am going through an entire 30-pound variety bulk box, which they sell directly to you guys, to the consumer. And I'm one by one opening up all these beautiful pieces of protein and meat and working with them in the kitchen, showing you how easy it is to make meals for you and your family. Today, I am working with the pork shoulder. So, like I said, super easy. I took out my pork shoulder out of the freezer and left it in the sink overnight, woke up in the morning, and I'm putting it in a crock pot. If you have a slow cooker, a crock pot, an Instant Pot, all of these have that slow cooker availability setting. So we want to go low and slow with this pork shoulder because we want to make pulled pork. Lots of things you can do with pulled pork, and I'll show you and give you some examples and ideas after we let this beautiful pork shoulder go ahead and cook out. So you can start this in the morning, leave it going all day, and by the time supper time is around, you're gonna have a beautiful meal ready for you and your family. Or if you're doing this ahead of time, this is a great way to cook a nice big piece of meat for yourself and then have it different ways throughout the week. So let's get started with getting this stuff cooked up. Open up your pork shoulder and put it in your crock pot. Just let it flat lay in the bottom of the pan. Start with some salt and pepper. You want to sprinkle that onto your beautiful piece of meat here. And then my preference today, I'm going to be using some onion powder. If you have garlic powder, you can use that as well. But garlic powder or onion powder are good aromatics, so you want to use one or the other. The other thing I'm going to do before I turn on the crock pot is I am going to add a Cajun spice. Some kind of Cajun, chipotle, pepper, taco seasoning, that kind of flavor is what I'm going for today with the pulled pork. I have this really cool Cuban spice which goes well with any pork. So this is what I'm using. And just go ahead and rub it into your piece of meat here just to make sure that none of it flies away. We just want it to kind of soak into the meat. Guys, that's it. That's all you have to do. Put a lid on it now. Just boom. And plug it in. I like to set it on high for the first hour on my crock pot, get everything nice and hot and juicy. And then for the next 5 hours, I just let it sit on the low setting and let it do its thing. You don't gotta look at it, you don't gotta touch it. Pour yourself a drink, go throw a load of laundry in, and we wait. So, take a look at this. You didn't have to touch it, you didn't have to do anything to it. It smells amazing. Now what I like to do is, because some of that fat would have cooked out now, I want to take this out of the crock pot and transfer it into another bowl so that we can play with it. Now it's going to be hot, be careful. The meat is going to be tender, so to avoid splashing, try to do it carefully. I like to use tongs and like a little spokey porky thing. Porky thing? No, this is pork, this is a fork. The Silly Kitchen never gets old with me and my fumbling of words. So I did that pretty effortlessly. I hope it works the same for you, because I have had situations where I've dropped it and ka-splash, a bunch of beautiful pork fat spews all over the place. So I'm glad that didn't happen on camera. Sometimes things work out. Now there's a ton of fat that cooked out. If you want to make a different gravy or something with it, go ahead and use it. There's lots of flavor in that, but you can also just discard it and not use it if you don't want to. So let's move this out of the way. And now my pork shoulder had a little bit of a bone in it, so I want to get rid of that and kind of pull all the meat off of the bone and pull it all apart, because what did I say? We're making pulled pork, obviously. So let's do some shredding. So you're just gonna keep playing with it, ripping apart all these beautiful pieces, so that we can get a nice pull on all of these things. After playing around with it for a little bit, you're gonna get these beautiful pieces of pork all pulled apart. And now you can just grab a fork and eat it if you'd like, but I'm gonna show you how to finish it off and make a beautiful pulled pork sandwich. And at the very end, if you stick around, I will tell you a couple other ways that I like to enjoy this beautiful meal. So let's head over to the frying pan. We're gonna put a little bit or a lot of your pork concoction here onto a frying pan and choose your favorite barbecue sauce. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of the fat that was in the bottom of the crock pot to line my frying pan. Get that nice and hot, and then we're going to throw a little bit of our pork into that. So all I'm doing is waiting for the pan to get hot. I'm gonna throw my pulled pork into the frying pan, get it nice and hot, and add your favorite barbecue sauce into this. You can add as much or as little as you want. I kind of like my pulled pork still a little bit chunky because I want to take big bites out of it. I don't want it to be too stringy. And just give it a good mix. Everything's already cooked. You're just now adding that extra flavor and getting it nice and piping hot. For the finishing touches, all I'm gonna do is cut open a beautiful piece of bread and get all this gorgeous pork into the bun. I mean, come on, how great does that look? I'm debating taking a full bite or just having a little piece. You have to lick your fingers after that. It's so tender and juicy and just falls apart in your mouth. I could not wait to eat this sandwich. But like I said, there are so many ways that you can use this pulled pork in different lunches, dinners, leftover meals for the next couple of days. If you weren't planning on feeding your whole family with this particular dish and you just made yourself some pulled pork, you can make yourself some quesadillas, cheese, pulled pork, add a little bit of sauce, maybe even some veg to sprinkle in there, bake it in the oven or in a frying pan and flip it, and you've got a quesadilla. You can put this in a wrap, make a pulled pork burrito, add whatever you want in there and enjoy it. If you're looking on the healthier side of things, you can totally make a pulled pork salad out of this. I would do some romaine lettuce, some corn, salsa, some avocado, even some beans, put a little bit of pulled pork on top, and away you go. Hot sauces go really great with this too. Even if you do a nice batch of mashed potatoes and do yourself like a spicy gravy, put some pulled pork on the mashed potatoes, dollop that gravy all over there, and boom, you've got yourself a very delicious meal. So lots of ideas for what you can do with this piece of pork shoulder. Five Chicks and a Farmer has so many different cuts of meats that you can use, and today's pork shoulder is a beautiful pulled pork sandwich. I hope you use your slow cooker to make some pulled pork. Oh my gosh, I love food. And listen, check out Five Chicks and a Farmer. They've got so many great things going on. All the links are below in the video. Check out the unboxing video that I did with them before. And guys, go eat something, because I am. Till next time, see you later.